Alright, in this video I'm going to go over an intro of how to use the two main sites. And when you're just starting out, you're going to want accounts at both of these sites, FanDuel and DraftKings. And in this video I'll kind of explain the differences, my experience so far, what I like about each site and what I don't like. So this is the inside of FanDuel, first of all. FanDuel is the biggest daily fantasy site by far, and they have the most players. They advertise, you've probably seen their advertisements on national television during the football games, and so they get a lot of exposure. They have a lot of people playing, and because of that, for people who pros obviously know this, and then people who are more experienced with daily fantasy know that there's more bad money on FanDuel, meaning it's usually you've got a lot more people who don't really know what they're doing that are putting their money in the pot each week. And so in general, cash games, you can expect to see a little bit better success rate on FanDuel. It's not a big enough difference to actually make me like FanDuel better, because I highly prefer DraftKings to play on. But I play money. I have a bankroll, half my bankroll's on FanDuel just for that reason. I'll get into some more of those reasons. One of the main reasons FanDuel isn't my favorite is the way the lineups are set. So you can't just make a lineup. You have to enter a contest first. So if we just have let's just go enter. This is a 50-50 Thursday through Sunday. I'm not really going to enter this. If we just click enter here, this is how you set a fantasy lineup on FanDuel. So you've got $60,000 of, just this fake money that's just a number as a constraint. You get an average of $6,666 per player. So over here, what you're going to do is pick a QB, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, a tight end, a kicker, and a team defense. So you're constrained by the salary. So if you click on QBs, and we're limited in this contest because it's just Thursday through Sunday. It's not showing all of them. Okay, what did I enter? Hold on. It should just be NFL. Oh, next available. Okay. All start times. So I want to find the, just so you can see a real example. Sunday at 1 p.m. This is a regular, Sunday lineup. There we go. So if we go to QBs, Aaron Rodgers has the highest salary on FanDuel this week. They're going to play New Orleans, and hopefully it's a shootout. So he may be worth that. The other videos are going to talk about how to set your lineup, how to determine value, all that stuff. But this is what it'll look like. Let's say we draft Aaron Rodgers. We go to running backs. Let's say we're going to spend a lot on our running backs. And so we want Matt Forte and Lynch. And then wide receivers, we're going to have to spend less because we now get an average of $5,300 left per player. Maybe Percy Harvin, that's a big maybe. This will be his first week with the Jets. Michael Floyd, I like that pick. Dwayne Bowe, that's risky, but could be good. And Andre Holmes, no way. Let's say Devontae Adams. So we have 4,600 left. So we go to our tight ends. Let's fill in the kicker. The kicker and the defense. Well, again, we'll talk strategy in the later videos. Where is Pittsburgh's kicker? I'm gonna pick Sean. Fill in the defense. Let's see. This week, who's playing Jacksonville? We'll pick the opposite. So we're going to pick Miami. So we now have 3,800 left to buy a tight end. I don't even think that's enough. Yep, 4,500 is the minimum on FanDuel. So we're going to have to ditch Dwayne Bowe. Go back. So these are the issues you have. You know, you've got to fit your lineup into the constraint of the $60,000 salary cap. So I need a $5,000. Marcus Wheaton is 5,000. That's a decent pick. So now I've got 5,000 left for the tight end. Zach Ertz. Nope, 5,400. Garrett Graham, Heath Miller. Let's go with Niles Paul. So we have $100 in salary remaining, and that's fine. A lot of weeks you'll make your picks, and you'll have some remaining. It's not like, you know, the picks are based on how you think production is going to happen. It's not, if you have 500 left even, you know, you might end up with a better score than if you had put one player back and bought someone with, you know, paid 500 more for someone else. So that's how you set a lineup on FanDuel. And then you'd hit enter and you'd enter the contest. From that point on, you can click on other contests back in the lobby and automatically enter just by clicking this button, and then a thing will pop up and enter that same lineup. So once you've set your lineup in one contest, it's easy to enter these other contests. And the reason you do that is because we'll talk about this in the bankroll video, but you know, you'd spread your money out over $1, $2, 50-50s, and head-to-heads. You wouldn't go straight. Let's say you were going to play $50 this week. You wouldn't go straight to a $50 contest. You have much better odds of winning more money by entering a bunch of smaller contests that add up to 50. So let's go to DraftKings. So this is what DraftKings looks like. And the way the site works is just much better. It's just so much easier to use. You can always see where your lineups are at. So we go to create new lineup. NFL, you want to pick, I mean, it depends on you, but this big 15 games, that's the main game slate. That's going to give you the most contests to enter. So we're going to go there. For DraftKings this week, Russell Wilson, after his huge week last week, now he's at 8,400. I think one of the best values this week is Ryan Tannehill, or maybe Stafford. I mean, that's Detroit against Atlanta, and Stafford played well with Golden Tate last week. Let's say we're going to go with Stafford. So that'll give us, that's a low quarterback salary. That gives us a lot more room in other spots. Let's go with Bell, and Chicago's playing New England, so let's go with Forte. Wide receiver, a Nelson and Cobb stack. I like having both of them this week. And Golden Tate, we're stacking him with our QB. So we've got the Golden Tate, Matthew Stafford, handcuffs. For our tight end, now you'll see that DraftKings is different. DraftKings has no kicker. Instead, you have a flex position, which is a running back, tight end, or a wide receiver. You almost always want to fill that with either a receiving running back, a running back that catches passes, or a wide receiver. Tight ends can, if you get extremely lucky and you know, there's only a few tight ends each week that go off for 20 points or more. So picking two of them is pretty tough. So you usually get better value, or it's just easier to put someone in there that's going to score more points if they're a wide receiver or running back. And you have a $5,000 salary cap that I've already gone way over. Let's see. There's better values at running back. So let's take out Forte and let's go with Eddie Lacy. I like that pick again this week. But Hillman at 4,900. Let's take Hillman. So now we have, let's get our defense out of the way. Let's see, who was it playing Jacksonville? Miami. So they're 3,300. That's a little bit expensive for defense, but they'll do well against Jacksonville. So we've got our tight end and our flex. So there are, several higher priced tight ends. Let's go down here. Let's go with Niles Paul again. So then we have 4,400 for our flex. So if we sort this by salary, we can just now go down to 4,400. And by the way, I'm just showing you how to set a lineup. This is never how I set a lineup. I'll have this all decided beforehand using the research stuff I'm going to show you in the other videos. So Doug Baldwin. Ooh, I'd love to have that. He's 300 too much. So once you see that, if you got to this point, I would like to have Baldwin in the lineup at that price. So we can take a defense that's $300 less. So now we have exactly 3,000. Let's go back to our defenses and see the defenses that are right at 3,000 and who they play. So the Cowboys play Washington. That is a good pick as well for 3,000. That's a great pick. Okay, so we're done. So we've got this lineup. And now our lineup is set. Now we can go into the lobby. Oh. Julio Jones? What the hell? I didn't think I had picked Julio Jones. Anyways. That's not that. I mean, that's a pretty good lineup for this week, actually. Anyways. So if we go to the lobby, then you can pick NFL. You can show the advanced filters. On Sunday mornings, I always click next start because then it just shows me all the contests that are going to start at 1 o'clock. Those are the main game slate contests. But today is Wednesday, so next start is not what I want to see. And then you can sort by guaranteed, qualifiers, head-to-head, 50-50s, leagues, and multipliers. That multiplier is new. I like that. So there are these triple-up contests. I like playing in those. The 10 times booster, I mean, those are awesome if you win them, but the top 15 out of 170. So your odds are a lot smaller. That's basically like entering a guaranteed prize pool, like a tournament type thing. So you want to minimize the amount of those you enter. I'm getting ahead of myself. We'll talk about those specifically and contest setup in another video, but that's just kind of a overview of how DraftKings and FanDuel work. And I like DraftKings, I like the layout and just how the whole site works much better than FanDuel. Okay, that's it for this video.